Do you smoke weed? Why or why not? Not anymore. I got clean of meth, and anything that even slightly chemically enhances my mood like a drug would send me spiraling down. I don't. It does me in a bad way, kind of like how alcohol does others in a bad way. Brain chemistry is different each of us, and we shouldn't judge or make biased laws. I do not. It's legal in my state, but I work for a public utility and we operate under federal regulations, so if I ever got caught with a random screening, then I'd be out of a job. I quit like 6 months ago. I felt like I had to deal with some stuff I was going through soberly. I was also having unpleasant side effects and wasn't getting as high, and it was costing me money. I used to. I stay away from it now because it began to make me more and more anxious and paranoid. I didn't like how loud my thoughts were and the things I was thinking about. I would get very existential and start overanalyzing every aspect of my life, thinking about how I appear in other people's perspectives, whether or not my dreams were stupid and their realism. Not to mention it always turned me into a major cabbage. Being high in the wrong places alone led to some strange situations in my brain. I'm better off without. Rarely. My wife is a 12-stepper, so I don't get high around her. It helps me eat food. I could go what feels like days without eating sometimes. I just get nauseous, and, as much as I love food, it's hard to get past without the weed. Did for years. Quit before our son was born about 5 years ago or so. We didn't have a lot of money at the time, let alone preparing to bring up a child, and we quit. Wife and I. First 2 weeks was hard AF. But I don't really care anymore. Once or twice a year I'll take a hit or two, and that's just fine. I didn't realize how mentally dependent I actually was smoking it until I quit. I drink a couple man cans now here and they're natty daddies. Way cheaper. Anyway, if you smoke, all the power to ya. If not, or you quit, that's great too. Your life and your decisions. No. I drive a semi, so federal law prohibits me. I get random piss tests. The law requires me to say no. The law requires me to say no. It's legal here and my apartment is within 2 minutes walking distance from 3 weed shops. Marijuana makes me feel good and helps with my anxiety. Thank God for stores where I can buy an ounce of weed legally and for like half of what I could get it for on the streets before it became legal in Canada. I've accepted the fact that I will have to work until I die and will never be able to afford true retirement. So I enjoy my retirement. One hit at a time. No. I quit everything. No. Asthma. I do not. Never felt the need. I prefer to face the misery of reality with all of my faculties. I like my suffering raw. Yes. But not as much as I used to. Ever since I started experimenting with psychedelics. Cannabis has also been either a good or a bad time depending on the set and setting. If I've gotten everything done that I need to and I'm in a good headspace, it's a great way to relax, but if I'm trying to avoid my problems, it shoves them right back in my face. I did. I stopped when my wife said she was pregnant. I knew I would tell my kids not to do drugs and didn't want to be a hypocrite. Now that they're out of the house, I've thought of starting again. I still don't think smoking anything is great for your lungs, including campfires. If I ever try weed, it will be via edibles. Do not. Corporate America loves them some drug tests, and as a single income provider for my family, the risk of failing a random piss test outweighs the rewards. It's very illegal in Ireland. No. My family has a history of mental illness, psychosis, schizophrenia, etc., and I am at risk of being dormant, triggering something in my brain that could be irreversible. Yes, I'm high-strung and an anxious person. Marijuana mellows me out and allows my thoughts to get in order. I can, however, go days without smoking, and besides being a little more anxious and having difficulty sleeping, it doesn't totally ruin my life and I'm able to function just fine without. I also never smoked when at work. And I was an overachiever and excellent at what I did. I just didn't make friends. My anxiety, even medicated, was still bad. I would throw myself into my work and multitasking was easy for my ever-going brain. Yes, 'cause I like it. Nothing more and nothing less. I smoke about 3 to 4 days a week. I don't. I've never really got it. I just feel sleepy and dumb when I smoke. I often wonder if it's a different experience for other people. Like, what am I missing? Nope. No desire to. Edit. I think if you smoke weed, have smoked weed, or currently smoke weed, that's just fine. I'm all for legalization. I used to a lot when I was a teenager. I haven't for years. I had some issues with depersonalization in my 20s, and I am worried that weed could trigger that again, seeing as the feeling can feel similar. I also think the stuff that exists now is way more potent from when I was a kid. And that shit was giving me anxiety, etc. Greenouts. I don't think there's anything wrong with weed. But if you use it to cope, I don't imagine that's very healthy. I wouldn't want to be literally stoned 24/7. If you make it your entire personality though, I think that's a bit corny, just like anything else. Yes, every day. I used to smoke a few blunts a day in college, and since postgrad and starting a real job, I've cut down to 2 to 3 dabs a night after work. I've cut out flower weed, which has had a significant positive impact on my health, and only consume oil. I know my limitations and don't go to work stoned or smoke more than I can handle. I can afford regular weed purchases, have a safe and reliable dealer, and I stay on top of all my responsibilities. A dab after a long day is just my glass of wine. Yes, love it. Took it up at age 50. Yes, it increases my patience level and allows me to have a stress-free day. I don't, partly because of asthma, and the smell also gives me nausea and migraines. It's the only thing that has positively impacted my mental health. I've only been smoking for a couple months and my life and relationships have improved drastically. I can think problems through more clearly and don't have breakdowns simply by hearing the word debt. I can finally live my life again and be happy. Yes, because I have an autoimmune disease and my doctor put me on 10 different pills that made all my symptoms worse. Weight gain, depression soon followed. Smoked weed and I was pain-free for the first time in nearly 2 years. I've smoked for 5 years now. Gonna keep going strong. Used to, but me and my husband are trying for a kid, and I want my body to be clean in every way so that I can properly grow a new life in me. Yes, because getting high feels good. Yes, at first because I like to be high. Later on I developed Crohn's disease and it really helps with some of the symptoms. I still like being high, but the medicinal is a really good thing. I don't smoke it, but I'll eat an occasional gummy. I don't like getting too high, but a slight little buzz is alright. I've tried it a few times in my life, but it's been many years. No, can't stand the smell, have no interest in it. No, I've never done it before. It's never interested me and I still don't care to try it. No, could get fired from my job. Yes, it allows me to sleep at night without my mind going to places it shouldn't. I don't. It's just not my thing, and it's funny how people almost look at you like you're crazy when you say so. I've tried to enjoy it, but I just don't like how I feel on it. I also don't like how, for many I know, it can sometimes become someone's whole personality. Or just being a pothead as a personality trait. It seems like now it's even more common than ever. Legal in my country. And, I don't know, it's just a different vibe partying or hanging with people who are high versus drinking. I find that I don't enjoy the company of avid potheads too much, and preparing for all the downvotes. It turns me off from people in general. I don't really know anyone who shares this perspective, but it feels nice getting it out there. I used to smoke during high school, but it induced an episode of psychosis on my last year. I had hallucinations, delusions. I lost my mind. I stopped smoking weed in 2017. That's my story. I don't. Personally, I think the smell is disgusting. No. I smoked weed too much between the ages of 15 to 25, and now I have a panic attack if I smoke. Please stop telling me. I just haven't found the right strain for my mental state. Because I've tried. It just isn't for me anymore. I smoked almost every day for about 1 year. I just didn't enjoy it anymore. Made me lazy as frock. The high was never as good even if I took months off, and after I quit I realized it gave me terrible DPDR, and I am currently trying to overcome the disorder. Never touching it again TBH. It was fun as hell while it lasted, but I definitely went into the excess part of recreational use. Getting lit plus ancient aliens plus pizza equals. No. Carries a death sentence in my country. No. Because I have a case of schizophrenia. And if I smoke I will have auditory hallucinations. And they tell me that people are coming to kill me. Not good. I've noticed every comment as a big no. So I'll say yes. Life is way more depressing than it was 20 years ago. Weed helps that by making things fun. I'm not saying drugs are fun, but weed definitely makes things funnier. If you get lazy and don't do anything, that's your own fault. I was lazy when I first started, but made a list of things to do while baked out of my gourd. You can be productive and smoke. Crazy, right? No. I always hated the way it made me feel. Kinda like sleep paralysis. And I don't like the idea of consuming something to alter my mood for me. I deal with my problems on my own and am independently happy. Nope. I think the paranoia will kill me. Nope. I grew up around it and watched how people drown their lives in it. There are many weed smokers who have their shit together. But I know people who can't half pay their bills and rent asking for loans, but have weed money to smoke. Many people I know who are stuck in a city job position or jobless and can't apply elsewhere because they won't pass a drug test. It's okay to smoke responsibly when you're in a secure career and your priorities are straight, but if you have 3 or 4 pink slips on bills, stuck in a dead-end job, Asking people for money, but somehow can conjure money to smoke despite all else. I would say that's a problem to be looked into. Based from what I've experienced, I've encountered more ambition-less weed smokers than high-functioning ones. Yeah, I do. I feel like I do it too much. I'm a successful business owner, have fiancé and 3-year-old daughter, but I feel like I need weed or else I get irritable and stressed. I can go without it for a few days and have plenty of times, but I jones pretty hard when I do. Helps my PTSD. I do not. Have never. Don't intend to. I just have no interest in it. The smell makes me sick. And the people I've been around who are high usually make me uncomfortable. I could see if I had pain issues or needed it to sleep or whatever, I might try it. I have tried lotions for a pain issue. I don't feel like it helped. It also is super expensive to get it legally, and I'd rather spend my money or something else. I also don't drink much alcohol for a similar reason. I do drink sometimes, but on average I'd just as happy without spending all that money on a drink. In the end, basically. I don't smoke because I don't need it to enjoy life or be comfortable. Nope. I am allergic AF. No. Reason. It's not legal in my state and drug tests are a normal occurrence for me. I've tried edibles before and I'd love to do them recreationally, but they need to be legal.